Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Paola, and today I'm joined by the one and only Jason June. Hi.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Oh, thank you so much for doing this with me. Very
Absolutely,
excited
thank
to
you
talk
for
about.
having me and for reading out of the blue. It just means a lot to me.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Are you kidding me? It's so good. So please tell the people at home a little bit about Out of the Blue. Out of the Blue,
That,
like my
yes,
eyeliner.
that's so perfect. It's on point. So, Out of the Blue is my new YA rom-com, and it follows Crest, who is a mer person, while they have to complete their journey. And the journey is a mer tradition where all teenage mer people have to come on land for a full moon cycle and help a human to show that they're sort of a selfless being and worthy of living in the blue, or the ocean as we would call it. And while Crest is on land, they meet Sean, who's this cutie lifeguard who has just been dumped. And Crest realizes this is the perfect person to help because Sean really wants to win his ex back. So they decide that they're going to fake date, and all kinds of shenanigans ensue. We know what happens when there's fake dating. And this is
Yes.
sort of, yeah, this is like an exploration of what it means to choose love for a person or love for for your home when you literally can't choose one or the other.
Oh my God. I love it so much. And I love that Crest is like not into it. I love
Yeah.
that they're like, why? Like, no, humans suck. Ew.
Crest is not an Ariel thinking like humans are the end
Yeah.
all be all amazing creatures. Crest is like, they are so destructive and selfish and disgusting. Yeah.
Yes. I adore their character. It's so good. And I love the world building around mere people, merfolk. So did you come up with that first, or did you start working around Crest?
I started working around Crest. I didn't necessarily have all of the mer traditions other than the journey lined up when I
Mm.
started writing. But as I was writing, I realized more and more like really what the journey is about, really what it means to be a mer person and live in a mer community, which is much more community and society based than it is individual based, sort of like how humans live. And so that was really fun to work that all out and really discover what Crest is supposed to be like, learning about themselves as they go
Yes.
on this journey.
So if you were a merfolk and you succeeded, what gift would you pick for yourself if you could pick for yourself?
Oh wow! So this would be really tough because, as you know, there are 8 magics of mer kind, and you're granted one of them once you return from your journey if you successfully completed it. And there's multiple ones that I love. This is tough. So I really love Passage, where you can just with the flick of a fin be anywhere in the ocean at any time. I think that's like a really magical ability to have. See, because the ocean is just so diverse and there's so many different types of climates, even though it's all in salt water, and it would be
Yep.
so cool to see it all. And then I really like the gift of clarity, which is
Mm-hmm.
it goes in line with the gift of language, where more people are blessed with the ability to understand any language. And I love how language and clarity team up, where you're like understanding, but then clarity helps give you that like true meaning and context. And clarity specifically, I would really love like with whales to know what they're saying with each other, because they're such a community based species too, and so emotional, as we know.
Yes.
And it would be really great to understand like just what they're trying to get across to each other and to other things they interact with.
Yes. Oh my God. That's a great gift. I would want that gift as well. Yes.
Wouldn't it
Yes.
be
Yes. Yes.
fabulous?
Yes. Living my Eliza Thornberry fantasy.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Forever and always Eliza Thornberry.
Yes. Oh my God. She was the best. What are some things that you knew you wanted to explore from the beginning? And did anything kind of sneak up on you during revisions?
Yeah, so I knew I really wanted to explore the idea of, I think a lot of times for queer people, especially, we will fall in love with the physical space, and that is our home, whether or not that was where we were actually born. Because a lot of us were born in communities that were not safe for us. But then when we found the spot that was really, really meant for us, it feels like a part of our physical being. And that is the case for Crest, even though they've been born there their whole life, but they just know in their heart and soul that they are of the blue. And then they come on land and they start to fall for this person. And I wanted to explore that with what it means when we love a place and we love a person, but they are not they cannot ultimately be in the same physical spot. And that happens for a lot of us, where we like love a city and then we fall in love with a person and realize that person needs to move away from the city or live somewhere else. And it's like, what do I choose here? Because these are two different aspects of me, and they're both two really intense loves, but I can't choose both. And what does that mean?
Yeah.
And ultimately, I wanted to explore, without giving too much away, characters and people being able to realize there's a love for yourself as well that needs to be taken into account when you're making these decisions. And there's no right or wrong answer. It's just what you know is right for you. And I think ultimately that self-love is what tips the decision one way or the other.
Yeah. I love that. And I love how you explored it as well. So this is a game. It is a bookish Would You Rather. So
Fabulous.
would you rather secretly love a book everyone else hates or secretly hate a book that everyone else loves?
A lot of times with me, I am the person that loves a book that everybody else hates. Like
Oh.
it just happens that way. So I think I would have to pick the other one. I would hate a book everyone else loves just to like experience something new. I am very easy to please. I feel like they put up my poster in these like big corporate boardrooms where they're like, let's get this chump to buy anything, and I'll buy into it.
Would you rather have dinner with your favorite dead author or your favorite dead character?
Dead character. Because if I met, I mean, like real people are people that I admire. And then it's that whole like, don't meet your heroes kind of thing, where then it's like, oh no, what if you're terrible? Whereas if it's a fictional person, even though in this reality I'm getting to meet them, if they ended up being awful, I'd be like, you know what? You don't even really exist. So take that.
Exactly. Well, you're fake. So
yeah. Bye-bye.
Exactly. Yeah. Would you rather live in a fairy tale or a romance novel?
I would rather live in a fairy tale.
Ooh.
This is so sappy, but I like feel like I'm already living my romance dreams with my husband. Like we're about to
Aww.
celebrate our 11-year anniversary, and like that's not to say that it's every moment of our lives is picture perfect, but that's like the perfect part about love, is that you can get stronger together in the tough times. So romance wise, I feel like I'm already covered. So I'd like to live in a fairy tale, so it's like something new and like magical.
What a wholesome answer. That's so cute. I love that. Would you rather forget all your favorite series and discover them all over again, or remember all the details of every book you've ever read?
I would rather forget and get to rehab that enjoyment every time, because there is such a thrill when you're like flipping through the pages and you don't know what's going to happen. And it's just like, oh my God. And I'd love to have it all the time.
Finally, would you rather have a friend who loses your books or one who dog ears them?
Somebody who dog ears them. I don't mind a well-loved book. I would much rather see the spots that other people stopped and started at or really, really loved, and keep getting to read my books than never be able to find them again.
Yes. And finally, do you have anything else you want to plug? Anything else you have in the works that you want to let the people know?
I'm currently working on my next contemporary young adult novel with Harper called Riley Weaver Needs a Date to the Debutante Ball.
Ooh.
And I am super excited about. It's following femme gay 16-year-old Riley, who is about to join the Debutante Society, which is this world-renowned organization of queer tastemakers. And the culmination of your debutante season is the debutante ball, where you need to be escorted by a date. It can be romantic, it can be a friend. There's no pressure for the date. You just have to be escorted by somebody. But just after, Riley hears a very toxically masculine cis gay guy say that gay guys are not attracted to femme guys, or else they wouldn't be gay. They are not into femininity, so that is what makes them gay in his mind. And Riley is like, wait a minute, this is really messed up. And Riley has these dreams of being a hardcore like interviewer. He really wants to get to the nitty gritty. Why do people think the way they think? And so he decides he's going to make a podcast about this, about what it's like to date as a femme person, and bets this cis guy, if he cannot find a date in time for the debutante ball, then he will pull out of the society altogether, which has been his dream to join all along. So it's sort of this exploration of labels and how they limit us and how they liberate us, and how we can fall into traps of putting certain sexualities or genders onto a pedestal when we don't mean to. And all this kind of like complicated layers of this conditioning that we've had as a society, being told it's a binary and you're either man or woman and that's that.
Yeah.
So it's been really fun to explore that. I'm super excited about it, and I can't wait for it to be out.
Nice. It sounds fun. Sounds really,
Thank you.
really fun. Yes.
This is like my deepest work so far, where I'm still trying to get that lighthearted, fun feel of a Jason June novel, but still tackle some things that are a little heavier, just in terms of, it's not a heavy novel, but heavier in terms of how complicated life can be, and getting to explore that. So, and then one other thing to talk about, depending on when this is going to come out, I'm running a donation drive for Out of the Blue, because there have been so many book bans, as we all know, this last year. And I wanted to find a way that I could get this book, which is a fun, fluffy, queer beach read, into the hands of teens who are queer and want to have a fun read for themselves, but where it can't be taken away like it can be in public schools or public libraries. So I've teamed up with almost 30 LGBTQ plus centers that have teen programs that are private organizations, so books cannot be taken from them. And donations are going to these centers, where they will be able to hand the books directly to the teens so that it can't be taken away from them. And they can even keep them in their own physical space if the teen doesn't feel safe, like taking them home. And so I'm really excited about that. If you go to my website, heyjasonjune.com, there's a whole page about how you can donate a copy of Out of the Blue to go to these centers. And I'm so excited.
Nice. I will leave that link down below, as well as buy links for Out of the Blue. That's so exciting. That's so good. I keep telling young adult authors that teens these days are very, very lucky to get all these diverse stories for them. But it's hard because the book bans and the book challenges and stuff. So it's very, very meaningful that you take that step to donate books, because they are meant for teenagers. So
exactly. Thank you so much. Nice. It's an honor to be able to be read by today's teens, and to like figure out a way to help them get books where they can see folks like them in it, because that didn't exist when I was a teenager. So it's nice to be a part of this generation of authors that's trying to change that.
Yes. I'm so excited for it to come out, for people to read it. Definitely check the links down below so that you can donate a book or get one for yourself, or maybe do both. I don't know. Awesome. It sounds like a fun deal to me. So Jason, thank you so much for doing this with me. It's been really fun.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate your time.
And people at home, don't forget to check out of the Blue. Please do it. It's funny. It's romantic. It is swoony. It is so good. You will not regret it. And please join us for a next one, because I definitely would love to interview you for your next book.
I would love that.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Jason. We will see you.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Talk to you next time.